Hi, it's Mr. Canada, and we're going to look at doing complex problems today. So, because of how big these problems actually end up being, I'm just going to do one example and have multiple parts to kind of showcase. So, this involves us having to know a little bit about shapes, a little bit about midpoints, a little bit about vectors. It brings together a lot of different things. So, uh, ABCD is a trapezium. Point E is the midpoint of CD, and point F is the midpoint of BD. You have the vectors on the page, but they're also stated beside. So this is one of those cases where it's more algebraic, it's more proofy almost, and you just have to go about showing them. So write each of the vectors in terms of A and B. So BC we'll work with first. Okay, my advice is always work with what they have. So if you notice, if we go CB, that's 8A, so BC, we're going the opposite direction, so we have to switch it. It'll be negative 8A. Now 2, we're looking for DB. So that, sorry, I am going to draw in really bad arrows here, kind of demonstrate what I'm doing. So DB, we're going D to B. Okay? That's our next one we want to do. So how do we do that? Well, let's just add vectors. So if we start at D and we go to C, right, and then we go to B, we can draw the resultant vector. But that doesn't really help us. We don't know what DC is. That's actually one of the ones we're supposed to figure out later. So that one really can't help us. Was there another way that we can get to B? Oh yeah, sure there is. Actually, I'll erase these each time. There's another way. We can go here, and we have 6A, and then we have, well, it should be negative 2B if we're going down, right? So therefore, we have 6A and minus 2B. So keep in mind, just add tip to tail, right? So our next one we're going to do is DF. So we're at here, and we want to make it to here. Well, what are we told? Are we told anything special? Well, F is the midpoint of BD, right? Which is also the midpoint of D of the other one, right? So DF, if we did DB and it was 6A minus 2B, DF is just half that. So we get 3A minus B. Right? Because midpoints are just half of the vector. Next one, let's do DC. So we have this DC that we want to figure out here, right? So how can we make our way there? Well, we know DB was what? That was 6A minus 2B, right? So we can go 6A minus 2B, and then we can subtract 8A because we're going the opposite way. So that will give us, I'm just going to shrink my font, I apologize. 6A minus 8A is negative 2A, and we have minus 2B. Don't forget to put your vectors on at least at the end. And lastly, AC. So we have A here, and we have C down here. So we're actually going to draw a little vector in there, even though there wasn't one, because they're asking us to do there. So here, if we want to go the opposite way, we have minus 2B to go down, right? And then we have negative 8A, go that way. So here we're going to have negative 8A and minus 2B. Okay, so here is a practice problem for you to do. Once you're done, press play on the video. So pause it now, press play on the video, and then go through it. Keep in mind, all the relevant information is there. You should be able to do this if you follow along with the last one. I didn't add any tricks to it, so best of luck. All right, welcome. You're back. Let's go through the answers. So here, I've kind of just gone and put the solutions, and then I'm just going to go and talk about them. So AF, okay? That is our very first one we were asked to find. So A to F. Well, we have that was the midpoint. So if it was 6A all the way across, half it, 3A. That one's nice and simple, right? when you're given it, just to find the midpoint. AC, well, we're at A down here, and we want to go all the way to C. Okay, so how do we do that? Well, we can go from A to B, and then from B to C. So 6A plus 2A is 8A plus 2B. Oh, but that 2, notice this is where some people make mistakes, because that is B to G is 2A plus 2B, so this is 2A plus 2B as well. So we get 10A plus 4B. Okay. Then looking next, we have, so I'm just going to actually start writing these on, 10A minus, or plus 4B. Next, we have AE. AE, well, that's half of that, so that's 5A plus 2B, right? Then DC, well, DC, how can we get DC with using what we have? Well, we can start at C, so we can go negative 4A, negative 4B, then we have negative 6A, and then we have 2A plus 4B, right? If we follow all the way around, going this way, right? And that goes, but that'll give us C to D, right? If we do it that way. So we just take the negative it. So we get negative 4A and negative 6A, negative 10A and 2A is 8A in the negative. And then we have 4B and negative 4B, so it's negative 8A. We want to reverse, we get 8A. You could have done the opposite and actually got the positive answer at the beginning. I just chose the wrong direction. So if you choose the wrong direction, just swap your signs, right? We know that. Then what do we have? We got GB. So, well, if BG is, sorry, and I didn't actually correct this, that should be 2A. If BG is 2A plus 2B, then GB is negative 2A plus 2B. Right? I'd have factored the negative out front just to simplify it a bit. And then GD, well, we have G and we're going to D. That one's a little bit harder. So how do we do this? Well, we're starting here. We're going down. So we have negative 2A minus 2B. Then we have minus 6A. So we're at negative 8A minus 2B. Then we're adding on 2, so negative 6A and plus 2B at the end.